Yeah, if you don't mind, can you open the all cameras so we can see each other faces? Yeah, so hi everyone. Uh, Welcome to the this week. Yeah, welcome to the session of open source. Today we have a Rahul with us, who is a GSOC 2022 crack and also a gold ML, Beta-MLSA and GitHub Campus Expert, and he is a founder of Decode Cafe. And he will talk about the GSOC, how to prepare for the GSOC, preparation strategies, and how we can crack GSOC. So let's I talk about this calendar also. Just wait, I admit people. I talk about the Scalent also. So Scalent is the open source tech community of wide range of learners and the tech enthusiasts where we can collab and learn the flourish together. And main motive of this Scalent is to encourage student and to the open source and the tech enthusiasts. So yeah, let's start session. Rahul, the stage is yours. Can start.
Yeah. So, hi everyone. First of all, thank you, Scaling Community, for having me here. And yeah, so let's just start it. Let me just share my screen. And before that, can I just know that what is the proficiency of open source that you all have, so that I can understand that what level should be this meeting. So, can you all just rate your open source journey from 1 to 5 in the chat box, so that I can get to know that how to take the session. Okay, I guess most of most of the uh, yeah, people are with 0, 1, 2, or people with negative points too. Yeah, and people with more negative points. Yeah. So okay, we will start with the scratch, and we will understand from the beginning that how to actually start, how to find an organization, how to talk with mentors, and all that stuff. So looking forward to it. So before starting, I would just like to speak about myself, that I'm Rahul Khinchi, and as pretty introduced by the Scaling Community. So I'll not repeat that again, but other than that, I'm a third year engineering student at Marwari University, Rajkot, Gujarat. And I'm also an open source enthusiast and a community person. I have my own community, that is Decode Cafe, and it has the same initiative that Scalint is doing, that we are helping people to get started with open source and technologies like DevOps, blockchain, and other things. And also, I'm ex GFG technical writing intern, and currently a freelancer at Nuvella. Also, a mentor at ConnectBud, where I teach kids on about mathematics, coding, and English. So, getting started with open source, that people might do open source because they will think that if my friend is doing open source, I should also do open source. Or if everyone is doing GSOC, then I should also do GSOC. So I just wanted to know that what is your motive of doing open source? Is it just because if your friend is doing it, or is it because you want to understand that how technologies work? So I want someone to like maybe if they write in the chat box, or if they can speak that why open source? Why are they doing open source? Okay, I guess we have contribute and learn. Great. To learn new technologies. Awesome. Yeah, but you can learn technologies without getting into open source. So my question is, why open source? It's a good way to learn and make coding faster. No, it's not a place where you can make coding faster, and it will give more exposure. Yeah, that's true. To learn how to handle big code base. You can do that without getting into open source and creating your own projects. To the growth, there is exponential. Yeah, that's true. By seeing others' code, you can check out your friends' code, put your ideas into their projects. Great. This one is nice. It's remote, yes, or confidently. Open source is good for providing value and giving back to the community. Nice answer. GSOC certificate and experience. Experience will matter. Certificate will also matter. So yeah, because we connect with community. Great. To solve real world problems and for, so I guess there are many answers, and most of the answers are right. But some people uh, have some confusion regarding why open source. So I'll start that why we need to do open source. So yeah, so my question was why to do open source. So back when I was in my freshman year, I was looking at my friends that everyone is just learning web development, Android development, and machine learning and different technologies. But my question was, why are they learning from the first year? Like, I was a new guy and I was understanding that why are they learning so early? Because we have 4 years, then I'll start at the end. But then I got to know about on YouTube about open source, Google Summer of Code, that these are something which can help you to uh, showcase yourself as a developer. For example, if I'm learning Java, so I can create Java projects. But to get a more exposure that how Java works, I should contribute to open source so that I can get to know that how Java is actually helping a real world problem, right? So that is why we need to understand that open source is not a competition thing, it's a collaboration thing where every developers write their code so that people can use these open source softwares. And open source softwares are something, for example, VLC Media, Mozilla Firefox. These are the examples of open source. It means that their code is free and anyone can use them and anyone can contribute to them. When I say contribute to them, it means you can write your own code into their code base. So if you tell someone that I contributed to the community, I contributed to a software which is used by 2.5 million people, then you may think that this is a small thing, but believe me, for recruiters this is a very big thing, and even more big thing if you have cracked these competitions. So cracking this competition and getting started with open source is totally different, because open source is something which everyone should do. But it is not necessary that if you are doing open source, then you should also do Google Summer of Code and this type of programs. And just talking about these programs, there are different types of program other than Google Summer of Code. But in India, we just look into Google Summer of Code because it is a tag and it creates a hype of Google. But there are different programs like the LFX mentorship program, MLH fellowship program, Google season of talks and Outreachy, and many more. But these are some big programs which are like happening worldwide. So as a beginner, we should understand that we should first learn how to contribute to projects, how to learn best practices in open source, and then we should think about all these programs, because these programs are not mandatory to contribute to open source, right? And moving forward with, I guess, yeah. So this is I can't think this. Pranshu, have you done something like it's showing the not visible thing here?
No, it's visible.
Okay, so okay, anyways, yeah. So this is my GSOC roadmap, which I prefer doing. So you all can just take a screenshot of this, and then I'll start with how to do this. So you all can just take a screenshot of this. But before doing that, understand that every person has their own roadmap to getting started with Google Summer of Code and open source. So you might have different roadmap, but this is my roadmap, that how I did started with Google Summer of Code and how you also can do. But believe me that this is not the only roadmap that can help you to get started with open source. But as a beginner, if you want to know how to get started, I would say that first you need to learn programming language. But when I say programming language, there are different programming language. So you should know that first there are two core fundamental languages. One is C++ and Java, and there are some languages which are technology specific. For example, Python, JavaScript, Ruby, and these are all the languages which are technology specific. For example, if I want to get started with AI, ML, and data science, then Python is needed. Just like that, if I want to get started with web development, then JavaScript is needed. So that's how these languages are technology specific. But the core languages are C++ and Java, where you can understand the oops. You can also learn about how to do problem solving and different things like that. So as a beginner, you should know at least one programming language to get started with open source. and then a
Hello.
knowledge of Git. Hello. Did someone say something? Yeah. So get after learning a programming language, one should have a knowledge of Git and GitHub. By Git and GitHub, so for the people who don't know what Git and GitHub is, for example, if I have a remote control car, and if my remote control car is open source, then my remote is Git and GitHub. So to contribute to open source, you need to know the Git and GitHub, or not only GitHub, but there are some different platforms like GitLab also. But that depends on organization to organization. But at least you should know how to like operate or how to run Git commands and how to use GitHub. So for people who don't know, Git is a version control system where you can track what changes you have done, and GitHub is uh, a code hosting platform where you can put your code. We will get into hands-on, but these are some theories which are needed to understand. So yeah, after learning Git and GitHub, you should learn a technology which is optional but not necessary. Because when I get started, when I get started with open source, I have only 60% of the knowledge of Java. So it's not important that you should know 100% of everything. If you know at least 50%, 60% of something, then you can get started with open source. So learning a technology is optional, but it is good to have if you are aware with at least one technology. So it will be easy for you to contribute. Yeah. And after that, you should select an organization and then join the. See, these are all the things which I'll show you hands on, but these are the things which is the theory part. So joining the communication channel, introducing yourself in the community, looking for good first issue, and these are some good practices. So we will get back to this once we will understand that how to do this hands-on things. Yeah. So moving forward with GitHub, that people often ask that how to select an organization and how to find projects, how to get started, how to talk with mentors, how to message mentors. So these are all the common questions which I generally get. So for the people who want to understand how to get started with open source and how to find projects, you just have to write GSOC. This is the simple way, and you can all can just check out here that browse all 2022 organization. So for 2023, the announcement has been done, but the shortlisting of organization will be done maybe in the mid February or in the March. So in the March 2023, you will get to know that which organization is taking part in 2023. But to get a knowledge of which organization will be taking part, you can just verify it through checking that how which organization were already part in previous years. For example, 2022, 21. You can just check out all the information from here only. So for example, if I'm a person who only knows Java, but I don't know anything other than Java, and when I say I know Java, it means I know 60 to 70% of Java. So if I just write Java here, so I'll find all the organization which is using Java language as a technology. Now here, when I say Java language, it doesn't mean that these projects only use Java. It means that they use a language Java, but they also have some different technologies which they are using. For example, if I just click on Jenkins, this is a project. Then this is organization. Then it will say that it is using JavaScript, Java, Go, Docker, and Kubernetes, but it is also using Java. So it doesn't mean that you should know all these technologies. If you are aware with Java, then you can get started with it. But if you want to do quality contributions, if you want to learn more, then you should start learning these technologies too. If you feel like this is the organization which I want to take participate, in which I want to like do Google's more of code. And these are all the topics that this project has. This is the information, and this is the contributors guidance. That, for example, if I'm a GSOC student, if I want to take part in GSOC, then here is the information that what is the eligibility to start in this project, specifically this project. This documentation not for the different organization. Every organization has their own eligibility. For example, if I talk about my organization, that is Textile, they have put some labels. For example, if you do GSOC first issue, second issue, third issue, then easy, medium, hard, then you will be considered as a GSOC student only if you have quality contribution. So that is how every organization has their own eligibility steps. Just like Jenkins has has this information. So before starting with anything, you should always read the documentation of that organization, that what it is actually solving. And these are the sub projects. This is the about, like here we can see Google Summer of Code in Jenkins. So here you can see that in previous years, like 4 students were selected, and who were selected, you will get all the information here, right? So this is how documentation plays an important role in learning about open source and uh, all these programs. So yeah, and most of the question were about how to talk with mentors, how to join the community. So whenever you open this organization, you will always find these three things: chat, mailing list, and forum. Just like that, if you want to join the channel, you can just click on chat and see. Here you can find all the communication happening here. Here you can just introduce yourself that, hi, my name is this and this, and I'm interested in this. So I want to get started with this. Introducing is important because people will get to know that yes, you are a person who are just starting with it, but they will not completely look into you that okay, you are joining, because at this moment you have just introduced yourself and you have not started with anything. So to be at the spotlight, you should contribute, and then you should talk more in this channel, because talking is very the right word will be communicating. Communicating will be important because your mentor will only know you when you will say that I am doing this, because talking with mentors is important. So for the people who ask me that how to talk with mentors, so here is the chat channel, here is the mailing list, here is the Twitter. So there is Twitter channel for like Jenkins. Here is the mailing list where you can mail the mentors and all the people about your GSOC thing, that people have asked you a question that how to prepare for a successful application. So you can see that people are asking here question and they are replying. So it is not necessary that you should reply. You should talk with your mentors like personally. You should always ask your questions in public, because asking your question is public will make easy for mentors to reply. Because if I am asking a question, maybe 20 to 30 people might have the same question. So if the mentor is answering, then I can also get understand that what actually how actually to prepare for a successful application for GSOC 2023. So always ask your questions in the public, right? Moving forward with it, this was about how to select an organization and how to uh, connect with community and organization, right? And these are all the things. For example, if you know web development and not a particular language, you just have to write web development. That is, these are all the projects which are using web development, and not just web development, but at least web development, right? So moving forward with other things, that here are some filters, for example, development tools and user application. So you can also find the organizations like this. If people are asking questions, I just wanted to say that I'll answer all the questions at the end, so that we will first end up with the hands-on thing, right? So these are web technologies, social communication. So you can either filter out your organization with this, or by writing your technology which you know. Okay. Another question which is very common, that in which how many organizations should I select? So as per my recommendation, I'll tell you that select only two organizations and focus on two. And after 1 month, just understand that which organization suits you. So don't take part in all both the organization. This is my recommendation. What I'll prefer is, if I'm selecting an organization, I'll give my 100% to that organization. Giving 100% means not only just contributing. When you say 100%, it means helping other folks and helping other newbie students. For example, if I just started, and after 2 months, if someone new person is joining this organization, that then, and if that person is asking doubts, I should not wait for the mentor to reply them. I should reply them, because this is where community helps others to help you. So when I say 100%, it means helping other folks, contributing to the projects, doing quality contributions, communicating with mentors, and if reviewing other code. So for example, if some other person has just created a pull request, then you should review them. And if not in the public, you should tell them in personal that, hey, I reviewed your code and I feel like this should be changed, right? So these were some basic good practices that one should know. And other than that, look for good first issues, right? So for example, if I just tell you about my organization, right. So this is my organization, which is textile, and here I have done my Google Summer of Code. Like I was selected in this organization, which is textile, right? So the next question is how to find issues and how to find beginner friendly issues. Because for example, you can see that there are 683 issues. So for a beginner like me was also like overwhelmed that there are 683 issues and there are this large code base, then how will I get to know that what to contribute and how to get started? So for this thing, you should note that this whole code is not required for you to understand. Even I, at this day, even I don't know that why, like how all these things works, because I've not contributed to every single line. Because you should only stick to the things which, which are in the issues. You can also make your issues, but it's uh, it's a common question that how to understand large code base. So you don't need to understand the large code base. You just go to the issues. You can just select issue and you can find that which issue wants changes in which file and just focus on that file, nothing else, right? So for example, if I want to contribute to textile, I'll just go here and write textile. Yeah. So after doing that, I will get the website of textile. So the first thing is reading the documentation of what textile actually does, right? So here is the overview of how it does, what is how to download, how to like uh, bring it to your local environment, and all these things,
ठीक है,
right?
GitHub
The
में होना
first
ही
thing
क्या?
is always read the documentation before getting started with actual contribution. Okay, and after moving forward with it, people say that how to find good first issues. So in any organization, you will find labels here, right? So in labels, you can just find that where are the good first issue. For example, in this organization, it is written GSOC first issue. So these are the issues which are good first issue means these are the issue which are very easy issues, and this will help you to get started with this organization. So to get started with an organization, you should start with these are good first issues. Many people might have some different names. That is or if you don't find an issue, you should ask in the public channel that like I'm getting started with this organization and I want to understand which are the good first issue. So please give me the link. So they will give you the link of good first issues and you should get started with it. Okay. Another thing is wiki. So in this wiki area, you will find many other documentation which will help you in contribution. See, the documentation which I have shown you is the documentation of what Excel is, but these are the documentation which will tell you that how to contribute to textile. So this is not about a particular textile thing. This is about all the other organization. So here you will find all the different good practice on how to update ASTM token types, good practice on how to update examples. So these are the good practices that you need. You can check if you want to get started with issues, and if you don't find any issues there. And believe me, there are many places where you can discuss your ideas. For example, here you also have discussion channel where you can discuss anything which you are thinking that this thing should also be added to textile or any organization. So then you can just start a new discussion here and you can start discussing that I am thinking that this feature can help. Like here is one question: how to understand GSOC first issue. So if I click here and if I am a beginner, I can just ask. I have someone has asked the question. So here is the reply: that read existing documentation, look through unit test for the check, create a play with examples and locally to understand check. This is how communication work. It is not important for you to like message everywhere. Just wait for the mentors to reply, because you know they are the people who already have their job and who are they are doing this thing as their second priority, not the first priority, and they're not getting a good monetary benefit from this. So just wait for them, have patience, because they also have different work, so they will reply you, but wait for the reply. Don't just ask same question everywhere. For example, asking here, asking in the mail, asking on Twitter, asking on personal channels, and asking on public channel. This will make the mentor, I guess, irritated. So the best practice is to ask a question one time and wait for them to reply. If you don't get the reply at least in 2 weeks, then you can ask again in different channel. Yeah. And moving forward with issues. Yeah. So if I'm a beginner and I have just searched about good GSOC first issues, and here are the things. So for example, if I want to contribute to this update doc for design for extension. Now what, I don't know anything. So I'll just click on it and I'll understand that what actually the mentor has to say. So here is some like documentation given uh, for the contributor that this is the actual thing we need to do. After seeing this, I'm like confused. So even at this moment, I don't know anything what to do. I'll just scroll here and I'll see that what people are talking, because this will help me to understand that what actually changes are needed. Okay, let's understand. Now also I don't know anything. Now also I'm not getting anything. So the another best practice is go to issues, go to good first issues, and click on closed issues. So these are all the issues which are already merged into the textile code. So at this moment, what you should do is this. See, for example, my uh, just, yeah. So I wanted to contribute to update doc for visibility modifier, and now I can see that update doc for method length. Now I don't know that what to do for visibility modifier, but here is someone who has done same thing, same updated the same document for method length. Now my thing is easy because now I know that this person already done this thing. Now I'll just check his code that what actually he has done. So I'll just go to his issue that he has merged, and I'll just check the file changed. See, this is the actual change that is needed, but this is for the method length. Now you need to do understand that how I can do the same code changes with for the visibility modifier. Now this might be a code, or this may be a like function that you need to understand. That is why investigation is important. It is not like you will get all the documentation and you need to do. You need to investigate everything, that how to actually what is visibility modifier and where it is actually in the textile code. So now I can see that this person has like created like this person has contributed to a file name method length check, and uh, they told that update document for this. So it might happen that visibility modifier will also have a file in textile under this same location. So you should go to this location. You should find a you should find a file with this name, and you should see that what example this person has added, and you should do the same thing, right? So this was a basic overview of how to get started with good first issues, right? Now understanding that understanding issues, now pull request. So if you know any issue, and now you have the solution, now you know which file you need to do. You have to then create a pull request where you will tell your mentor that I have done this thing. For example, if this person has created a pull request, it means this person has added some changes, and now the mentor will review this. Like, see here, they are reviewing this, that this is from conversion execute. So you can ask your doubts, the mentor will review and tell that what actually changes are needed and what you have done and what changes is needed now also. So this is how communication works. Communication is very important in open source. So you should know that how to ask a right question. It is not a good practice if you are writing hello and then you are waiting for your mentor to reply hello. Then you will be replying, I want to help. Then you are with then your mentor will reply, what help do you need? This is not a good practice. Write with hello,
This
I
is
hope
not a good
hello, and ask a
practice.
doubt. Ask in the same paragraph, not like you are just writing hello, then another message, then another message. Write your message once at once so that your mentor can see that and reply you. So you should know that how to ask the right question. You should know that how to ask question and where to ask question, right? So this was about how to ask questions, and the another good practice is always check closed and merge issues and investigate yourself from Google and Stack Overflow before asking a mentor. So we have seen that how to see closed issues and merge issues and how to investigate. So if you are not getting anything from the documentation, try to search this from Google and Stack Overflow. Then you will get to know. For example, we have seen visible length, right? So if I'll just write visible length method in Java. So here are some documentation which you should read to understand that what actually visible length means. So before asking a question to your mentor that what this actually is, search on Google or Stack Overflow, ask other contributors, check people who have already commented on that issue, so that you will get to know that what are the changes that are actually needed. Now the next thing is go for collaboration instead of competition. So this is the main thing. When I get started, when I was getting started with open source, what I was thinking that I want to crack GSOC, so I'll just look for me and I'll contribute. And if people, even people were asking me questions from the same organization and they're telling me, hey, I'm also preparing for Google Summer of Code, can you guide me? I'm not replying to them because at that moment I was in the competition with all the students. But this is not a good practice when you're contributing to open source. Instead of competition, you should go for collaboration, which means that you should help your other people, other contributors of the same organization too. This will help your mentor to shortlist you, believe me, because they will think that you are not here just for writing code. Anyone can write code with by upskilling themselves, but a good contributor, a good software developer, or good computer science student is someone who is ready for collaboration, who can help others, who can review others code, and who can also contribute. So a good practice is not just to contribute to the code. You should communicate well, you should help other contributors too, and you should help especially people who are getting started with open source, right? Another question is, as the right question that we have already discussed, increase your level of issues and work on quality issues, right? So if like just like we have checked the GSOC first issue, now I'm done with the first issue. Now it doesn't mean that I need to do only GSOC first issues, like 5 to 6 issues. If I have done one or two, I should go with upskilling myself with GSOC second issue, then third issue, and then moving on with it. It doesn't mean that if you have done GSOC first issue, then you should again and again do the first issue only. You should upskill yourself on working on quality issues. Yes. Another thing is talk about your strength and problems with your mentors when you are in the spotlight. Yeah, it might happen that you are messaging your mentor in public and they are not replying you, and it's been 2 months and that person is not replying you. It means that that person don't think you as a good fit, or you have not done any quality contribution. Now understand this thing properly. There are thousands or hundreds of people who are contributing to this organization. It is not possible for a single person to reply to all the 100% queries. So for that, that person or the mentor or maintainer will only reply to the people whom they think that this person has a quality contribution and they seems to be a good fit for Google Summer Code or any different open source program. So to get into that spotlight, first create the credibility that you have done these things, right? You can't just expect your mentor to reply you every time if you haven't done any good contribution. So to get a reply from your like mentor or organization, you should first contribute properly. You should do quality contribution. Then you can expect that how that person can reply me. Yes. Another thing is help others contributors and nearby to get start. Yes. Open source contribution doesn't mean that writing code. For example, if you have the public channel and if people are asking the question that how to get started with it, tell them, reply them that you can get started with this. You just have to read this documentation and things like that. And this is optional, that post your learnings about organization through YouTube, LinkedIn, or Twitter, right? This is important not as an open source contributor but as a student. So this will help others to know and get exposure that what open source actually is. So post your learning means if you are just contributed to a project, you can just create a Twitter thread explaining people that, hey, I contributed to this code today and this is how I did. I first looked into what skills are required, what files are required, and I contributed. So this will help other folks to get to know that how to actually contribute to the projects. You can either create a LinkedIn post or YouTube, or you can at the end also create a thread or LinkedIn post about this webinar, that what you have learned. So looking forward to it. Yeah. So other than that, what I think is just like I have said here, don't just go for Google Summer of Code. You can check out another programs. For example, if I just write LFX mentorship program. So yeah, many people often ask me that give me the link of Google Summer of Code. The best way to just write Google School of Code on the Google, and you will get the link. So before asking, just investigate yourself that how to actually do. Yeah. So to to understand that, we have already discussed about Google School of Code. Now we will discuss about different programs. That is, for example, Linux mentorship program. So like today's topic was not on this, but to just give an overview that just like Google Summer of Code, you can also find the organizations here. So here are all the different organizations. Now you know that there are many organizations that are open source. Then why are you just waiting for yourself to like Google Summer of Code when there are different programs? If you're not getting accepted into Google Summer of Code, don't wait for the another year. Start contributing to this organization. It might happen that you may get selected in this, right? So these are all the different organization here, the skills that are required. If you know this, just apply here. These applications are closed because they will also like they have different cohorts. Like Google Summer Code happens once a year, but this LFX mentorship program happens thrice a year, like in the winter, in spring, and this in the summer. So this might happen that if you're not getting selected in Google Summer Code, then you may get selected in these programs. So just explore these programs, not just Google Summer of Code, explore other programs too. So this was a basic roadmap from my side, but don't just blindly follow that. Make your own roadmap and talk with other people. And the better way to do that is, if you have joined any organization, try to check, connect with the contributors. Okay, people who are also preparing for Google Summer of Code, and try to share knowledge and collaborate with them. That bro, and like people might from different background will be contributing, so you will get an exposure that how they are contributing and what is their mindset of contributing to the projects. So and that was pretty much about a GSOC roadmap. Now I'll take some questions, and then I'll move forward with it. So if people have questions now, they can ask me. And believe me, this is the right time to ask a question, because it might not happen that you will always get a chance to like get a reply. So looking forward to the questions. Yeah, you can either raise your hand, and the skilling community will give you the permission, or you can just write your questions in the chat box. Yeah. So okay, here are some questions already. Oh, was my voice is breaking the whole time? Priyanshu, can you just
No,
tell me?
no, no. It's clear. It's clear.
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, okay. Here are some questions. Sir, I use GitHub desktop. Is it okay instead Git? Okay. See, Git is important for you to understand that how version controlling works. So when you're familiar with Git and GitHub, then you can use Git desktop. But as a beginner, you should start with Git and GitHub, so that you will get to know that how to actually how the tracking system actually works, how your code history is getting saved. So as per my suggestion, start with Git and GitHub. Better go for, yeah, there are already answers. How to understand the code base that includes many languages that I don't know along with the language I know, and do we have to install the projects in our system? So as we have discussed, you don't need to know the whole large code base. If you know, if you are getting started with a particular issue, check that which issue is used in which file. Go for that file, learn that what that file does, run it into your local machine, and then contribute to it. Also, do we have to install the projects in a system? Obviously, if you if you want to learn it, if you want to run your program, you need to go install it locally, and you should play around it. You should not just contribute to it. You can also add some new features from your side, and you can just check it. Yeah.
If it possible, guys, you can speak with Rahul also.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you have
And
any
so
question,
next
you
question
can
is how.
speak.
Right. Another question is how to use the chat. The it is very different. Okay, yeah, UI might be different. So let me give you an overview. Okay, we have discussed that there were three platforms: Twitter, Gitter, and this. So it's not compulsory to always go to the website and talk. You can just download the Gitter app, and you will get the Gitter app here, and you can all ask your questions there, right? And it might happen, just like I said, it might happen that you won't get a reply. So wait for the reply, and if still you won't get the reply, check for another people's code. So this is how Gitter works. Many organizations use GitHub only. So this is my public channel of textile. Here people tell, like you can see that people have shared a screenshot, and they are asking any suggestion on how to resolve this error. So this is how it works. This is as simple as that. Just ask your question. If you won't ask a question, people will not know that you are stuck. So better to ask your questions in the public. Now, for example, these are the personal channels where I talk with my mentor about how what to actually do and what things are needed. So see, if I show you at the starting, my see, I have done I have messaged them on 21 and they have replied on 26. But now, even if I ask them questions, they will reply on the same day. So this is what credibility means. You should increase your credibility. Then only people will reply you when they think that you are actually adding value to their organization. Yeah. Uh, Share your bookmark with us. This is the actual roadmap which I followed. You can just take a screenshot of it. So this might help you, but I'm not sure if this will really get you into Google's more code. So create your own roadmap. Try to follow other people's too, and take the guidance from them too, and then create your own roadmap. Don't just mix up everything. Just see, these are the things which are necessary for and this will be the common in every roadmap, that you should learn Git and GitHub. You should learn at least one programming language, and you should learn a technology which is optional if you're not contributing to any technology. For example, I studied with programming language. So yeah, can you just unmute this person? Yeah. Any WhatsApp group? Yeah. So any WhatsApp group? Uh, No, nothing. Yeah. So any group especially for GSOC 23? I don't believe that there are WhatsApp groups, but if you want to join, you can join Scaling Community, which is good, and they are helping people to get started with open source. So you can join communities like that, and they are conducting these events. So you can just ask your questions there. Yeah. Can we start now and get in GSOC 2023? Okay. I'll tell you that GSOC will be starting in May, right? And the application will be starting from 1st April. And today, like at this moment, it is November. So December, January, February, March, April. You still have 5 months, and 5 months is enough to get into Google Summer of Code. But your priority should be to how to start with open source and then Google Summer of Code. Where to learn Git and GitHub. So there are already many courses you can find on YouTube or you can find on Udemy. But I would prefer you might already know Kunal Kushwa's YouTube channel, so you can just learn Git and GitHub from there. Or there are some different channels too. So yeah, how
Excuse
do you?
me. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, as you have told that for contributing, we just need to work on the, like, we have to select that field and Google it, like you have done for the check style.
Right.
So my problem is that without understanding the codes, like in those check style content, only theoretical portion I could see. So without understanding the codes, how can we make corrections in it? Like only when we googled that check style field, only theoretical portion was there, and after reading all the document, we can only think about the errors in the theoretical part, but how can we make correction in the code part without practicing it?
Okay. So for example, if I have read the documentation of textile and I have cloned it locally on my environment. I have just checked out the code. Now, if I'm going to any issue, I need to understand that what that issue really wants. I should not understand the actual code base. And you said that on the documentation you can only see the theoretical part, and that is true because the error. See, every issue has the different errors, and it might happen that this error might be the new one, and it is not it cannot be found. See, these are all the errors which are real world errors. So these are the errors which people are facing in their day-to-day life when they are using textile, right? So this is the actual error, and this is not something which was already documented. This is the thing which has happened for the first time. So you won't get the documentation of how to solve that problem actually, but you can take the reference from closed and merge issue, that how others people have solved similar type things. Or if you still don't get it, ask your mentors that I googled it, I asked other contributors, and I also checked closed issue, but I still can't get that how to get started with this particular issue. Then they will reply you if they see that this is the issue which is not been documented, right?
Okay,
So
so will it be easy to understand the syntax?
uh, are you talking about textile or any organization?
Check style, check style, check style.
Okay, so what textile is, it is totally dependent on programming languages and DevOps. When I started with textile, I just knew 60% of Java, but after some times, I also get started with DevOps thing. So it might happen that at the starting, you will be seeing some documentation of AC, that is abstract syntax tree. So contributing to Texel might be tough at the starting because it is totally on programming language, that how programming language actually works. For example, if
Exactly.
I'm yeah. So for example, if I'm contributing to a web development project, I will know that if there will be issues like if this is not in center, move it into the left or right. But textile is something which is uh, like a grammar
चल
or
रहा है
a dictionary of
चल रहा
people
है
who are writing the code. So setting the
क्या
rules
सही है
is what textile does, right? So it might happen that you will get overwhelmed at the starting while contributing to Excel, but believe me, the community has increased and people are more friendly there. So you can just ask your doubts in the public channel and you will get a reply. Yeah, I think I have
Okay.
answered your question. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much.
welcome. How we will know that we are selected for GSOC? You will get to know it
हाँ
after you apply for it, and you will get a mail. Yeah. Is GSOC for individuals, or we can participate as a team with friends? No, GSOC is individual, but you can if you want to participate uh, with your friends, there are some different programs of open source where you can registration with choose December or after that for better chances of getting selected in GSOC 2023. So investigate today, select an organization tomorrow, read the
भेज तो
documentation from day after tomorrow, and start contributing from that day. Because it might happen that in whatever
इतना मुझे तो समझना
organization you are
पड़ेगा चलो
contributing,
भेज तो क्या
they
क्या
will
है
look for the people who are there from a long time. Because every organization have their different tools of selecting the GSOC person. Yeah. What is the way to write a proposal that has higher chances of acceptance? This is a nice question because every organization has their own template of writing a proposal. But if your organization doesn't have a template, try to contact the previous GSOC students of your organization and ask them that what is the best way to write a proposal for this organization. They will guide you that how to actually do that. And before submitting a proposal to the GSOC, share it to your mentors and tell them to review it, because if your mentor will think that you are the right person, they will review your proposal, they will tell you to add changes to it, and then you have to submit to Google Summer of Code. Don't just submit it before telling your mentors that please review it. Yeah. How we will make proposal for GSOC? I think I have answered the question. What is the minimum number of contributions to crack GSOC? It depends on organization to organization, but there is no minimum number. It might happen that people, your organization will be selecting people based on the labels. Label means GSOC first issue, good first issue. So there are some labels which help organization to track that this person is already selected, already contributed to this label. So we should select them. How to identify that this organization is for me, or this can be get in GSOC 2023. Okay, let me just share you a link where you can see that which organization had participated how many times. Then you can just make an understanding, or you can ask your mentor that how is in this year your organization will be taking part or not. Let me just give you the link. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So this and when you go to this link, you will find that uh, how many organizations have taken part in the Google Summer
वो
of
आपका
Code
उसमें
at how
कुछ
many
करना है क्या,
times.
एडिट
So you
आपका
can
वो?
just
ठीक है,
check there, and also you can
डेस्कटॉप पे ही
share
कर
your
रहे हैं पापा?
GitHub public channel link. See, every organization has their own GitHub channel. So it is not thing that I have my own public channel, but whenever you go to a particular organization through the Google Summer of Code or any other place, you will find the GitHub channel or any other channel that you can find there only. Uh, Sir, I'm a beginner in web development first. I'll make projects and to upskill my skills or boost my GitHub profile or finding organization or solving issue. See, GitHub profile, upskilling your GitHub profile will help you in uh, getting a spotlight, but this will not help you in to for your Google Summer of Code. So if you are a beginner in web development, so and if you are making a projects, this is the first thing. Instead of this, what you can do is you have the basic knowledge of web development, search for an organization, and then after searching for that organization, start contributing to it through your web development technology education. Yeah. And this is the link which I shared now, just now. Uh, Here you can check, for example, 52 note, this was in 2022, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. So this might happen that this year also this organization will take part, because as we can see the consistency from 2016, we can understand that. So by this you can understand that which organization is taking part. For example, this organization Ascent was there in 2016. So this might happen that this will not take part here too, because this is not consistent. And just like that, you can understand that which organization is actually consistent and they will take part. So yeah. Uh, Bookmark on your browser. Uh, how to sort out organization for GSOC? Yeah, just like I
हाय
told
भाई,
you, you
हाय
can either go
हाय भाई।
here and check out the tech stack
नमस्ते
that
नमस्ते
they
भाई,
are
कैसे हो
using,
कैसे हो?
or you can just go to GSOC and just browse
क्या ओल्ड मंक
organization.
चढ़ा रखे क्या?
And if you know any technology, just search for it and you will get your
अबे
result.
यार, ये सब क्या पी रहा है? कुछ महंगा माल पी भाई, क्या पी रहा है ये?
uh, what you did in your first year of college for open source and
हाँ,
all.
नेपाल में हूँ भाई अभी।
Okay.
ऐसे बैंगलोर में पढ़ता हूँ, अभी घर आया हूँ।
Yeah. So what I did was
बीबीए।
I started with Java, and believe me, I didn't thought of Google Summer of Code or open source. I just thought that where should I use my Java education, because people were making projects based on Java, but they were just copying code from GitHub, making their changes and doing this. And I was thinking that if I know some language, then where should I implement this? Because I want to create solve a real world problem. Then I got to know about open source, so I started with it. So when I started with open source, I was not aware about these programs. So that helped me to understand open source well. When you don't have the competitive mindset, you understand well, because when if you are starting with open source just because for Google Summer of Code, it might happen that if you don't crack Google Summer of Code, you will end up with open source. So at the starting, just have a mindset to contribute to open source and to learn. It might happen that in this year you are not selected for open source, in the next year you will get selected. But the open source knowledge that you will get, it will help you a lot while getting for jobs and preparing yourself for uh, internships and things. Because
लो लो
at
लो
this
लो लो
moment,
लो लो
whenever
लो
I
लो लो लो
apply
लो लो
for any internship, I
लो लो
get
लो लो।
shortlisted because of my open source profile, because I have a good open source profile. Because every person is learning technology, but if you're contributing to an open source, a platform, or a software which is used by thousands or millions of people, then it gives a great feeling of gratitude that you have helped someone. For example, Chextel is being used by 2.3 million. Now, if I say my friend that I have contributed to a project which is used by 2.3 million, that people will not understand. But if a recruiter will listen this, he or she might get impressed. So that's why you should contribute to open source, and Google Summer Code and all this program should be your second priority. Yeah. While contributing to Textile, did you only knew Java or were you familiar with other languages mentioned in the organization as well? Yeah, I was only aware with Java, and to be precise, 60% of Java I was not knowing Oops, and then I started with Oops because I thought that like after seeing the code, I realized that Java basic knowledge would not help me. So after learning Java basics and Oops, then I get started with contributing to it. But with time, I also started learning different tech stack of Textile, which has helped me to get into DevOps, get into GSOC. So I learned about DevOps and all this stuff. So it's not necessary that you should already know all those things beforehand before contributing. Once you have started and once you know that which skill your organization is using, start learning those things. Yeah. How did GSOC help you in life? Okay. Mm, how GSOC helped me in life is after my GSOC thing, I had started my Decode Cafe community, and after that, also like I started technical writing and sharing my knowledge. And today I'm here and I'm giving a public speech just because of GSOC. So GSOC will help you not just in writing code; it will also help you to share your knowledge if and also help you to be a good public speaker, to technical writing, manage people. And if I ever do like if I ever learn something, I just create a thread on Twitter or LinkedIn that what I have learned and how you can also learn this. So after looking this, I get I get invited to these different speaking roles, just like I'm here today. I was also like invited to contribute as a freelancer in an organization, and I'm getting paid for that. So you can understand that you get a lot of different things, small things, but when these small dots get connected, it will bring you a big thing. So understand that GSOC will not help you that much, but open source will help you. GSOC will only help you to get a job, but open source will help you in your soft skills too. Yeah. How much web development I need to know to start contribution? Yeah, just like I told you, you don't need to know everything about web development. If you just know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, just start with it, and after contributing, start learning simultaneously. So you are learning here, and you are contributing to a project, learning and contributing. Yeah. Uh, does an individual organization have multiple projects listed to GSOC? Yes, an individual organization have at least 5 to 6 or maybe more than that, and you can apply to 3 projects. Yes, you can apply to 3 projects. Three projects or 3 organization. I'm not sure about that, but I have to check that. But yeah, when I was preparing for Textile, I have created a proposal for 2 projects, and I was selected for one. What is GSOC? GSOC means Google Summer of Code, which is a mentorship program which is run by Google. And here you can contribute to open source, and they have this program for the folks who just want to get started with open source and help open source softwares to get better contribution. Yeah. What is open source? Yeah. So open source are the softwares which have their code in public. So you can check their code, you can contribute to their code. For example, Mozilla Firefox is open source. So if you don't like the UI of the Mozilla Firefox, just create an issue, tell people that about it. If you get more upvotes that yes, we should change it, then they will ask you. So not just creating issue. If you think that it is happening, you should also learn the texture of Mozilla Firefox, and you should resolve that issue. This will help your this will help you to like build your portfolio. I'm a beginner. Okay. Can final year students apply for GSOC? See, last to last year it was only for students, but from last year it was for everyone, and from this year any person, be it a student or a software developer or a teacher, educator, any person can take part in this. The only eligibility is you should be 18 you should be more than 18 plus. Yeah. And after if you're not getting selected in your final year, you can also do it while after your final year. So yeah. How to stand out from the other contributors? Yeah, to stand out from other contributors, you should make just like I said, create a credibility of yourself, help others in the public, solve others doubt, review others code, do quality contribution. Just contributing to the project, making pull requests will not help you to stand out, but helping others reviewing other codes, and creating the threads will help you to actually stand out that, and your mentor will understand that this person is totally focused on this thing. So we should at least you will get a spotlight in their eyes that yes, this person is doing something for the organization. And believe me, every organization is looks for the people who are there for the long time. They don't want people who are just coming for Google Summer of Code and leaving the organization. They want people who are staying even after Google Summer of Code, so that they will get help with the organization. Can you contribute to open source with basic knowledge of DSA, or we need to learn web dev, AI, ML, etc.? And is contributing open source same as freelancing? No, contributing to open source is not same as freelancing. In freelancing, you get hired by the people who want uh, who who sees that you are a good fit for them. But in open source, you need to first start contributing to the projects, and once the contribution is done, you need to create a proposal for the particular project that I can solve this project, and these are my tech stack, and this is what I think, and these are my ideas about solving this project. If your organization thinks that you are a good contributor, you have a quality contribution, you have a good credibility, and you are a good fit for this project, then they will select you. How can I get projects based on web development? Just search web development here, web development here, and you will find all the web development organizations here. Yeah. Uh, if you choose hard projects, does the chances of getting selected increases? Yes, it get increases, but for that thing, you should know that what that project does and how you can solve this project. See, selecting a hard project or easy project is not it should not be your main concern. Your main concern should be how to actually work with that project. For example, if there are 5 projects and 2 are hard projects, if you think that you can solve these 2 projects, just apply for them, even if you don't know 30 or 40%. Even if you know 40 to 50% of how to solve this project, then there are chances that you may get selected, because it might happen that people are not creating proposal for that project, that hard project, because they are thinking that it is hard. So there are good chances that if people are not applying and you are applying, and you at least have 40 to 50% of the knowledge, you might get selected. Yeah, how to get sure about selection? Is it through mail on the mentors? Inform us personally. You will get a mail from Google Summer of Code after you apply, after you create a proposal and send to Google Summer of Code. There will be there will be once the organization will be shortlisted, and there will, you can see that on the screen, like you can just see all the selected organization here, and once you see here, you can just apply to them, and after applying, you will get a mail from Google School of Code, yeah, that your proposal is successfully like applied, and you will get a reply. So you will get all the information from mail only, but if you won't get there, your mentor will surely tell you that you are selected. So yeah, and if you're not your mentors, your friends will tell you after seeing that you are selected through the GSOC website. This is out of context, but what is your take on mass layoff happening in tech industry? I think that we should like take this question in the next event, because I think we are running out of time, so we should first focus on the GSOC questions. Yeah. How to sort out the projects based on the tech stack I know, like web development. I have just shown that you just need to search your web development, and you will find all the projects related to web development. Where will we get idea for the project? Once the organization is selected, in the wiki page you can see, or you can ask your mentors that what are the projects that are selected. For example, if I go to textile here, this, and if I go to wiki, and if I see textile GSOC 2022 project ideas, so these are all the projects that were in GSOC 2022, but these 2 only got selected. So now it might happen that from this only, this 5 to 6 projects, it might happen that they will come in 2023. So you can take an understanding with that. Can you name some other open source events like this Google Summer of Code? Yeah, these are some top open source programs like LFX mentorship, MLH fellowship, outreach in Google season of talks. Yeah, sir, I need to know all the technologies used in their projects or core technologies. You need to know core technologies, and you can start learning while contributing to the project. So you will get to know that how you are contributing, and how you can like put them parallelly, learn and contribute, learn and contribute. So I guess there are no more questions. So that was it, I guess. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, what is the duration of GSOC? It is of 3 months or maybe 4 months. It depends on the project that you take. There are projects like medium and large. So medium generally ends in 2.5 to 3 months, and large ends in 4 months or to 4.5. But from this year, you can extend the project. If you're not getting completed with your project, you can tell your mentors that I need more time. I need my help. So please tell the timeline of GSOC. See, GSOC is 2023 is announced that it will happen in the March, or the organization will be announced that these are the organizations that will be taking part in GSOC 2023. In the April, you have to submit your proposal. You will get 20 days to create a proposal and submit, and in May you will get an announcement that you are selected for GSOC. You can get all the information just by searching Google Summer of Code on the internet. Okay, I believe there are these are all other questions which I have already answered. Uh, what is stipend we will be getting? Okay, the stipend for medium projects is 1.15 lakhs, and for the large project, I believe it is 2.30 lakhs. Yeah. If we contribute to more than one company, do we get different mentors as per the company or one mentor throughout? No, every organization have different mentors, and in organizations it might happen that there are 4 to 5 mentors. So for particular projects, the organization set a particular individual mentor only. But for a particular organization, there are 4 to 5 mentors. Do we have to strictly complete stuff according to given proposal timeline before checks are taken? No. This is like I can relate to this question because I have completely created a different proposal and I have worked totally different. So once, see, proposal is something which will help mentor to know that yes, you at least have an understanding of how projects will go. So yeah, you don't need to know whole everything about the project. If you at least know 30 to 50%, just make a proposal and apply for it. To tax apply on the stipend, yes, tax apply on the stipend, but not that much. Only very limited, like for my project, it was just 2,000 to 3,000, very less. Yeah. Having limited skills, should I go for GSOC? Obviously, you should go for GSOC and start learning it if you have limited skills. So I believe there are no pretty much. I believe I have cleared all the doubts, and that was pretty much about how to prepare proposals and what are the things to be highlighted. See, for the proposal, every organization have their own template. So you have to wait for the proposal at this moment in November and November till March. Don't focus on the proposal. Focus on contributing to it. I will again do I will again do a workshop by the scaling community in April on how to create proposals. So don't worry on that. Just focus on how to contribute at this moment. Yeah. So that was pretty much about open source in Google Summer of Code. I would like to thank you everyone, and especially scaling community for having me here. And yeah, over to you, Priyanshu.
yeah. Thank you so much, Rahul. Yeah, if everyone can open the camera, we can take a screenshot.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
might
thank
be
you so
good.
much, everyone. Thank you, Rahul. Like, I hope I'm audible. Pranshu, am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah,
you are audible.
Okay. So, guys, please turn on your camera if possible.
so we
We will
can take.
take a snapshot and follow the link and tag us and share your experience on LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever you like.
Yeah,
And
so it might
also,
be good if
Please,
we can take picture from here.
yeah, also I shared the feedback form. So guys, you can fill the feedback form too.
Right.
I hope you guys enjoyed the session and thank you so much, Rahul. Shout out to Rahul.
Thank you, scaling community, and like all the participants for having me here and for being a good uh, participants. So yeah, looking forward to the other events. So we can just click a picture now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. So
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
guys,
but I like to see. Yeah.
you can share your LinkedIn profile on your WhatsApp group. Like we will open it.
Yeah. Okay, then is anyone clicking the picture?
Pranshu, please, can you
yeah, sure.
take it? Okay.
cheese. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Done.
yeah.
Thank you
Okay
so
then.
much, everyone. I hope Rahul had cleared everything and all your queries. And if you have any doubt, you can tag us on any social handles, and definitely we will reach
Also,
out to you.
also if
And
you have
yeah,
doubt about GSOC 2 also, then you can ask in the WhatsApp group also. I'll
yeah,
be answering.
definitely.
And also you can share your learnings on social media by tagging us that what you have learned today. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, do not forget to tag Rahul and Scalant Community, whatever you're sharing on your social handles. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed a lot. Thanks a lot. And please fill the feedback form shared in the chat box. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Priyanshu.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
So, community signing off. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.
Have a great night.